was a better game than I thought. I thought Miami should have let Carson back for a little more in the first half than they did. But they obviously turned it around in the second half. The Fernando Mendoza dive on 4th and 5 or whatever it was will be one of the most iconic plays in the history of the Indiana program. Indiana was the best team in college football from start to finish, despite what I was saying about Ohio State earlier in the season. Indiana proved me wrong. Um, I don't think of them like LSU, where they were just this dominating presence that beat up on everybody like 50-0. I just think of this team as one of the most efficient and well coached teams in the history of college football.
Yeah. There were talks that maybe Kirk Cignetti, if Mendoza does end up getting drafted #1 overall by the Raiders, which I fully expect him to, maybe Cignetti should become the Raiders head coach.
Yeah, I doubt it. No, he's staying in college, and now he gets to coach Fernando's brother next year.
I thought I read Fernando's brother transferred.
Did he? Because I didn't hear about that. If he did, maybe you're right.
I think I read Fernando's brother transferred.
Oh, you're right. He does enter the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction on that.
Yeah, I believe he went to Georgia Tech. Yeah. He is going to Georgia Tech.
Yeah. But anyway, Indiana was just a very impressive team. Go on.
Yeah. By the way, not only is this the third straight national championship for the Big Ten, but it continues a recent trend of teams who wear red winning national championships. The last 5 teams who did not wear red to win a national championship: 2019 LSU, 2018 Clemson. You have, I think it was 2010 Auburn. I want to say, Florida's in there, and there was one other, and I don't remember who it was.
You're talking about the team that wore red in the game lost?
No, just teams who won a national championship but didn't have red as a primary color.
Well, that Michigan a couple years ago.
Michigan, that's the other one. Michigan, LSU, Auburn, Florida, and now Clemson. There you go.
The biggest question for me is, was this the last year of the 12-team playoff? Which I think the deadline for expansion is tomorrow, if I'm correct.
Well, it sounds like the SEC wants 16 and the Big Ten wants 24.
Well, can I tell you the reason why the Big Ten wants 24? Because if you get past 16, ESPN has to give up the control that they can no longer have exclusive rights. Fox would have to get a game. CBS would have to get a game. NBC would have to get games. And we know the Big Ten has contracts with all 3 of those networks. That's why they want the expansion.
Yeah. And I read that and I saw that the national championship next year is going to be like January 25th.
Which is so wrong. And this is the thing, and it's nothing against Indiana because it happened the same thing to Ohio State. Why do you think, we're an hour and 7 minutes into our show tonight and we have barely talked about college football? Yeah, Indiana won the national championship. Would be the conference championship games are this weekend, and that's all anybody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
The national championship game should be, in my opinion, the Rose Bowl, January 1st in Pasadena. That, to me, is the national championship.
Yeah, great. The national championship next year is in Arizona. Let me know when I should care. At least, when you have the national championships for men's college basketball and women's national college basketball, people actually care about those.
Yes, and it's within a tournament. It's 3 weeks, and that's the thing, right? Is I think college football, as great as this expansion has been, and ratings are through the roof because of it, pretty soon, I would imagine that they are going to brand this into December Madness.
Yeah. And that if they do that, I could see them expanding the bracket ridiculously large, which you're going to run, if you do that, you're going to run into what happened with Tulane and James Madison, who obviously did not belong in the playoffs. And, you know, I would have preferred to see Texas, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, teams who actually belonged. Now, like, a lot of the controversy was whether Miami deserved to be there or not. I think they rightfully proved it.
Clearly, they show they did.
Yeah, rightfully they did. Um, but even honestly, when that game was like what 10-0 at halftime, you're like, okay, and
Yeah, it was a slow moving game. It felt like its nails days. It did pick up in the second half, but it was not that exciting of a game. It was what we expected, a physical offensive line, defensive line game.
yeah, um, it it wasn't. I don't feel like there was that one iconic play. If you want to say Fernando Mendoza diving into the end zone, sure, that'll go down in Indiana lore, but I don't think in 5 or 6 years, you and I are, if we're still doing this show, are going to say, hey, do you remember Fernando Mendoza diving into the end zone against
It was
Miami?
it was certainly not Caleb Williams backing up and throwing the ball 52 yards for a 13-yard pass.